Hello, Craig Howard here. Uh, there was a guy at a music store the other day, and he made a statement to the guy running the music store that he really didn't like Christmas music. To me, that's just unconscionable because I love Christmas music. But, excuse me, then he went on to explain why he didn't like Christmas music. And what he said was there's no tension in it. It's too lighthearted. It's it's all about joy to the world and everything coming up roses and everything sweet and nice. And it doesn't really talk about the struggles and the tensions of life and how we can overcome it. And he sort of had a point. We live in a time of we live in a time of cancer cells and divorce courts and coronavirus and all sorts of other terrible things that are going on in our world, where there's conflict all around us. Wars are taking place. People are struggling financially. I met another young homeless couple last night. Well, it was actually a brother and sister um, that needed some help. They didn't have anywhere to stay, and it's just like that is part of the life we live. And sometimes, especially at Christmas, we kind of close our eyes to the reality of the conflict. We kind of close our eyes to the reality of what's going on around us, and we want to focus on the joy. We want to focus on joy to the world, and I find myself doing that. I catch myself doing that. I want to focus on the joy, I want to focus on the lights, I want to focus on the happiness, and that is part of Christmas. There is a rejoicing that goes along with Christmas because Christ has come to deliver us from the bondage of sin. And so it is part of it, but there's also a part of us that needs to take the time to recognize that our world is in conflict, and the answer to the heartbreak of life, not the answer to all of the financial problems a person has, not the answer to all of the diseases and struggles of life, is found in knowing Christ as your Savior. The minute you receive Christ as your Savior, there's not going to be $1,000,000 fall out of the sky and wipe away all your financial problems. It doesn't work that way. But it is the answer to the pain in our hearts. It is the answer to the strife and struggle in here, which is the biggest of the struggles. So I began to think about it, and I ran across Romans chapter 8, verse 23. It says, "Not only so, but we ourselves, who have the first fruits of the Spirit, groan inwardly as we wait eagerly for our adoption to sonship, the redemption of our bodies." We're looking forward to a day. We're looking forward to a day when Christ will return. We're looking forward to a day when there will be no more sin and suffering and struggle. We're looking forward to a day when there'll be no coronavirus or concentration camps or cancer cells or any of this stuff to contend with. We're looking forward to a day when we don't need to worry about whether we're going to have strife in our songs or not, because our songs are going to be about the joy of redemption. And that's what that verse says. We're looking forward to that day, but that day hasn't come just yet. And that means we live in a time of struggles around us. And while we have to open our eyes to the joys of Christmas and see our redemption draweth nigh, so to speak, we can't close our eyes to the struggles of the people around us and just kind of wrap ourselves in our own little cocoon. Maybe we say, well, I've got enough problems of my own. I don't have time to deal with somebody else's problems. The best antidote you're going to find to dealing to the pain of your own problems is going to be in reaching out to others and doing what you can to acknowledge their struggles and helping them through their struggles. So I guess what I'm saying is, at Christmas time, it is true. Sometimes our songs can be a little bit shallow. And I understand why. We want to focus on the joy, and that's part of Christmas. But we also need to focus on the opportunities that Christmas brings to do ministry, to touch people's lives, to bring hope, to bring help, to bring love. If there's anything our world is missing right now, it's true love. Love that says, I'm going to put other people ahead of myself. You know, the old song that was popular in the 70s, I think it was, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the only thing that there's just too little of. Well, the love of Christ abounds in our hearts, and it should be abounding from our lives to those around us. Think about that this morning. Next time you hear a Christmas song, think about, how can I make that a joy to somebody who's hurting? I will talk to you, Lord willing, on Monday. I hope you have a great weekend. If you get a chance Sunday morning, tune in to Break Brethren Church Facebook page and listen to our Christmas concert. We're going to do a virtual Christmas concert on the Break Brethren Church Facebook page. So tune into that. I'll share it on my page as well. God bless you. See you on Monday.